In the movie Finding Nemo, a clownfish named Marlin loses his son, Nemo. After Nemo ventures into the ocean sea despite his father's warnings about potential dangers in the ocean, Nemo is taken by divers and placed in a fish tank in Sydney, Australia. With the help of a fish named Dory, Marlin goes on many journeys through the ocean, through many dangers and obstacles to get his son back. Throughout all of this, Nemo plans to escape the fish tank and eventually gets reunited with his father. We are going to focus on the hedonism aspects of Finding Nemo because it's ironic to see these aspects in a children's movie. In Finding Nemo, the shark, Bruce, demonstrates hedonism. He tries to be nice by following the code, fish are friends, not food. But as soon as he smells Dory's blood, he goes after Dory and Marlin to eat them. This displays hedonism with the normative ethics of teleology and consequentialism because Bruce focuses on the consequences or outcome. He hasn't eaten fish in a long time, so he thinks that eating a fish will satisfy him. In teleology, actions are judged, good or bad, depending on the outcome. To Bruce, eating the fish is self-pleasure, so it's good.
Nigel the pelican, much like Bruce the shark, is trying to rid himself of his natural hedonistic ways. Being an animal, it makes sense for Nigel to follow a hedonistic ethical lifestyle because an animal's only goal in life is to survive. As soon as he meets Nemo, he says, "Sorry if I ever take a snap at you, a bird's gotta eat." Nigel's intuition tells him that he has to eat the fish because the outcome of him not being full is very appealing to him. Later in the movie, Nigel actually attempts to eat Marlin and Dory, but stops once he realizes who they are. In this situation, Nigel changed his normative ethics from a hedonistic teleology that would result in a good outcome for him to an altruistic teleology because he controlled himself and saved Marlin and Dory from the hedonistic mind seagulls.
The birds who always say, "Mine, mine, mine," also display hedonism. Everything they see that they like, they claim it's theirs by saying mine. They reflect the meta-ethics conscience and intuition because their intuition is if they see something they like, they automatically want it for self-benefit. They also represent the normative ethics of teleology because if the action is for self-benefit, the outcome is viewed as good. So, since the action of going mine or grabbing what they want, it's for self-benefit, so the outcome is viewed as good.
The dentist has several fish in a tank purely for a hedonistic reason. They provide him happiness by sitting there and looking pretty even though they are miserable. The dentist took Nemo because he was looking at the teleology of the matter. He knew he would gain a little clownfish that he could give to his niece despite the fact that he knows she killed the previous one. This shows that he was focused more on the happy outcome for himself and for his niece rather than the outcome of a miserable life for the fish. Darla, the dentist's niece, only wants to be entertained by the fish and is willing to hurt them to achieve that goal, which is hedonistic. She only focused on the consequences that gave her satisfaction, such as the fish doing something entertaining, rather than the fact that what she is doing, such as shaking the bag, may end up killing Nemo like it did the last fish. This shows that her, much like her uncle, are taking a hedonistic view when it came to these fish. After seeing the abundant amount of hedonistic characters in Finding Nemo, do you think it was the writer's intention to include these hedonistic aspects in a children's movie? Why or why not?